consciousness a new phenomenon. There are two words, to be conscious and consciousness. You have come to consciousness is a phenomenon above nature. You have come above nature and now you can consciously evolve. Conscious evolution is revolution. You can do something about it. You are not just a victim, not just a puppet. You can take your destiny now in your hands. That is possible. And because it is possible and you are not doing anything, it creates inner anxiety. And the more you become aware that this is possible, the more anxiety will be felt. A Buddha is very worried. You are not so worried because Buddha was very worried in deep anguish, suffering. Unless he attained, he would be in constant hell because he was perfectly aware that something was absolutely possible and was just at the hand, just by the corner, and he felt, still I am missing it. It is just stretch my hand and it will happen. And my hand is paralyzed, just a step and I will be out of it. And I cannot take that step. I am afraid of taking jump. This situation comes to anyone when consciousness begins to grow. So Buddha knows that this is possible for me. Many times it happens. It is possible that I can do this work, but something or the other keeps it, something that could finish in 5 minutes, not getting the 5 minutes to finish that. And this was it is just the corner, just everything is there. And I am afraid of taking out time. So when you are near the goal and you can feel it, you can see it, and still you go on missing it, then you feel anguish. It happened a couple days ago. My IT person told me that for the retail outlet we should create some recipes. The important 1 or 2 recipes, like the looking at the shelf, what type of items are there, and the main ingredient for there on that shelf should be used as a recipe. So I mentioned that we can do 2 recipes, one for biryani, which is one of the most important and widely used item. The other is a basic gravy to make all the different dishes, vegetarian and non-vegetarian. I know it is just on the corner. It will take me about 5 to 6 minutes to finish one recipe, but not getting a chance to do it. That is where the anguish comes in. Why am I not able to finish? I know where the things are. I'll go to the cookbooks. There the complete description of the biryani is there, the other gravy is there, and not only that, I know the entire history of that. Just to put into the place. This was the situation when Buddha knew that it is just with, once he stretches his hand, he can get it. When you are near the goal, you feel that you can see it, and still you go on missing it. Then you feel anguish. When you are very far away, you cannot feel it. You cannot see it. You are not even aware that there is a goal. You are perfectly unaware of any destiny. Then there is no anxiety. So Buddha has that anxiety. Animals are not in anguish, they are happy. They appear happy, happier than man. What is the reason? The trees are very much happy than animal. They are perfectly unaware of what can happen, of what is possible, of what is just near the hand. They are blissfully unaware of this. There is no anxiety. They drift. Man becomes anxious. And greater a man is, the more anxiety will be there. The more conscious you are, the more anxiety will be there in you. It is, if you simply live, you are living an animal existence. Religious anguish arises the moment you become aware that something is possible. The seed is there. I have to do something. I have to do something, and the seed will begin to sprout. The flowers are not far away, and I can reap the crop, but still nothing is happening. A very important state is felt. In the process of evolution, spiritual development, everybody goes through this process. Know that this particular state is very near. Just once I decide to do this, I'll get through this. I know it is very near. Almost I am on the verge of getting it. But something or the other keeps on blocking you. What it is that every morning, on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, when these meditation sessions take place, you know that if I go and listen to this, there will be the process. The speaker is speaking. This is masculine energy. And as a listener, in all my passivity, I am listening to it. Something, the state of orgasmic state will happen. The state of bliss will happen. When the two opposite forces interact with one another, illumination happens. Look at the bulb. The lighting of the bulb is the ecstasy out of the interaction between the opposite forces. You know it is very near. And the Master has said that, but he cannot force you. He can only try to convince you in many different ways that you should listen to it. These talks are being recorded every day. The Tao overflows are recorded every day, and the videos are available to you. All you need to do is listen to these in passivity, but somehow or the other, we cannot get a chance to listen to this. So it may not be that much anguish. What is my gain in taking time every day to record this video and do these works. What do I have to gain out of that? Neither money comes in, nor prestige, nor anything, because I have reached to that point where nothing else is needed. Then why am I doing this for? Something that has happened to me, I wish there is a possibility the same thing can happen to you. A very important state at times is felt. I have to do something and the seed will sprout. The flowers are not far away and I can reap this crop, but still nothing is happening. A very important state is felt. That was Buddha's Gautam's condition before he attained to the awakening. He was just on the verge of committing suicide. You will have to pass through that, and you cannot leave it to nature. You have to do something about it, and you can do it, and the goal is not far away. So do not be depressed if you feel anxiety. It is natural and spontaneous way along the process of transformation. If you feel very tense, anguish within you, a suffering, agony, do not feel depressed about it. That is a good sign. That shows that you are becoming more and more aware of all that is possible and can happen to you. And now you will never be at ease unless it becomes actual. So the anguish is, you know this can happen to you. The moment I set my mind to it, the moment I put my efforts into it, it will happen. And unless this happens, the anguish will remain. Man cannot leave it to nature because man has become conscious. So that's why to be conscious and consciousness are two different things. Only a very minor part of his being is conscious, but that changes everything. And unless your total being becomes conscious, you cannot know again the simple happiness of the animal or of the trees. There is only one way to know now, to become more and more alert, more and more aware, more and more conscious. You cannot regress. As you become more and more conscious, there is no way for you to fall back. You can simply delay the process because the seed has been sown into you. You cannot throw away the seed, or you cannot regress. You cannot go back. You can either remain where you are and suffer, or you have to go forward and cross over the boundaries of suffering, but you cannot go back. This is the state of almost all the seekers who are in close communion with the awakened one. Total unconsciousness is blissful. Total consciousness is bliss. A tree is totally unconscious, it is in bliss. An animal is also in a state of bliss, and you are in between. A part of you has become conscious, and the major part of you is still unconscious because of that inertia. You say that I will listen to it whenever I want, and when the talk is happening, you are listening to it live. You cannot do anything, you have to listen to it. At the moment, those who are listening, they are listening at my will and pleasure. The talk will continue as long as I continue. But when you are listening to it pre-recorded, then you can attend to the phone calls, you can do anything that is possible. You can listen to 5 lines or 1 paragraph, and then you go and do something, attend to the phone call and come back and listen. That breaks the continuity, and you do not get into the entire message as is supposed to reach you. So part of you is conscious because you want to listen. Part of you is unconscious because you have other assignments, other things to do as well. That is why it is said in certain places, you do not carry your phones or anything. In courts, the court of law, you cannot carry your phones. In meditation centers, you are not supposed to keep your phones. Total unconsciousness is blissful, so too total consciousness is also blissful, and you are in between because a part of you is conscious and a part of you is unconscious. But the major part of you is unconscious, so that keeps you divided. You have become two, not yet one. The integration is lost. Animals are integrated, and then saints or the masters are also integrated, but man is disintegrated. A part remains animal and the other part remains moving towards saintliness or awakening. There is a struggle, conflict, and whatsoever you do, you can never do totally. You want to listen, but you want to attend to the call as well. So there are 2 ways. One is just to deceive yourself, that is to become totally unconscious again. You can take drugs, you can take alcohol, you can take other intoxications and fall back to the animal world. You drug the part that has become conscious. You become totally unconscious, but this is a temporary deception. You will rise again. The effect of chemical will be lost and your consciousness will become conscious again. The part which you have forcefully suppressed with the use of alcohol or drugs or something else will rise again, and then you will feel more suffering, because then you can compare. You will feel more suffering. You can go on drugging yourself. There are many methods, not only chemical. There are religious methods as well. You can use a chanting, a mantra. You can chant it and create an intoxicating effect. You would have seen the mother is putting the child to sleep. She uses a lullaby. This have no meaning. It is just meaningless words. Maybe la 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 la, and the child falls into a sleep, because this particular rhythm creates a boredom in the mind. You do not understand why a particular chant or word is used. It creates a kind of a boredom, and it has an intoxicating effect. You can do many things which can make you unconscious again. You would have seen many people holding a bag of rosary in their hand. The hand is going on, but the heart, the mind is going on in so many other directions. So this has an intoxicating effect. You feel that something is happening, but it at the most, it can make you feel a little more relaxed. So when a child falls asleep with the lullaby, which creates a boredom, child falls asleep. When he gets up, he is refreshed. And you are deceived, and this refreshing, you find that transformation is happening. At the most, it can make you more relaxed and efficient. But as far as evolution is concerned, that is not possible. You can do many things which will make you unconscious again, and that is going to be temporary. You will have to come out, and you will come out with a deeper suffering with you, because then you will be able to compare. Remember one thing: totality, whatsoever you do, totally is bliss. If you are unconscious totally, then too it is a bliss, but you are not aware of it. Animals are happy, but they are not aware of their happiness. So it is futile. It is just like when you are asleep, you are happy. And whenever you are awake, you feel unhappy. Totality is bliss. You can be total in consciousness also, then there will be bliss, and you will be totally aware of your blissfulness. It is possible through austerity, through methods, through practicing techniques which increase your level of consciousness. You are not enlightened because you have not done anything for it, but you have become aware that you are not enlightened, means you are aware of your unconsciousness. This has been done by the nature. In millions of years, nature has made you aware again and again. You may not be aware of the fact that man has stopped growing. As far as body is concerned, there is a certain limit beyond which there is no growth. We have skeletons that are millions of years old, but there is no visible change. They are similar to our skeletons. So for millions of years, there have been no growth in the body. It has remained the same. Even the brain has not grown. It has remained the same. As far as body is concerned, evolution has done whatsoever could have been possible. In a sense, man is now responsible for his own growth. And the growth is not going to be of the physical. The growth is going to be of the spiritual. At a certain point, you have to transcend from the physical growth to spiritual growth. The skeleton of a Buddha and your skeleton are not basically different. You and the Buddha are absolutely, but the skeletons are not different from one another. But both you and Buddha are completely different as far as awareness is concerned. Evolution works horizontally. Methods, techniques, religion, they all work horizontal. Evolution works horizontally, but methods, techniques, religion that you use work vertically. Your body has stopped growing horizontally. It has come to a point that is the omega point. Now there is no further growth for it. You look in the dense forest. The tree has no scope or space to grow horizontally, but it needs to reach the light. And without the light, its life will be useless. It cannot survive. So instead of growing horizontally, it begins to grow vertically taller. So in the dense forest, there is a competition among the trees to reach to the sunlight, and they grow vertically in heights. Body has stopped. It has come to a point, the omega point. Now there is no further growth for it. Horizontal evolution has stopped. Now a vertical evolution starts. Now wherever you are, you can take a jump vertically. You are swimming on the surface of the river. You have reached to a point, the end point. You can come back, end of the river. Then the other option is you can start diving. Whether you are going inside or going beyond, vertically both are the same thing. That vertical evolution is of consciousness, not of the body, and you are responsible it. The body grows naturally, you have to take care of it. But consciousness, the growth, the evolution of consciousness is a conscious effort in your hand. You cannot ask nature why, but nature can ask you, why are you not enlightened yet? Because everything is provided now. This very moment, something can happen to you. And happen because you have made an effort. But for months together, you did not make an effort. For one reason or the other, you delayed the process. The existence can ask why it did not happen. You have everything possible. This very moment it can happen what has happened to you yesterday. Could have happened long before, but it did not. You cannot ask nature why, but nature can ask you, why are you not enlightened? Why this did not happen to you? Why you are not awakened yet? Because everything is provided now. Your body has all that which is needed. You have a Buddha's body. Exactly whatsoever is needed for the Buddha to happen is available to you. You have got everything. Only a few arrangements, a new synthesis of all the elements that are given, and Buddha will happen to you. Awakening will happen to you. Everything is there. Just a proper synthesis and it will happen to you this very moment. Nature can ask. Nature can ask you, why are you not enlightened yet? Because nature has provided you with everything. And nature asking you, whatever nature is asking you is not irrelevant. But what you are asking nature is absurd. You cannot be allowed to ask. Now you are aware. There is a possibility that you can do it. It has been told to you, if you do this way, it will happen. All the elements are given to you. The opportunities are given to you. The hydrogen is there. The oxygen is there. The electricity is there. You have to just make certain efforts and experiment, and the water will happen. You have all that is necessary to attain to the state of blissfulness, the orgasmic state of existence. All that is needed for you to be enlightened, to be aware, is with you. But it is scattered. You have to combine it, synthesize it. You have to make a harmony of it, and suddenly the flame will arise, which becomes the flame of awakening. And all these techniques are for that. A technique told to you based on the analysis that you have to start doing this particular breathing exercise. You have got everything. Just know how is needed, but to do what to do so that enlightenment can happen to you, you ask. But you are lost in other things. You are not looking for that. All that is needed to be awakened, to be blissful, has got scattered in you. You have to gather these together, combine these together, synthesize these together, make a harmony of it, and suddenly the flame will arise, which becomes the flame of awakening or the flame of blissfulness. Enough for now.